This video is to show you how I do my research and encourage you, if you have time, if God guides you, that um, that you would start your research on the patterns of the Bible wheel, or you might find other things uh, that might help you with the research. What I would do is I go to blueletterbible.org or blb.org, and it redirects to blueletterbible.org, and I would pick out a chapter or a book. In this case, 3rd John, which is the 20th epistle, and it's also the 20th book of the third cycle, which is one chapter long. And I would look in tools and then cross references, and I will look what is related to the 20th epistle. I'm specifically looking at the 20th of whether it be in chapters or in books. So here I find Acts 20 verse 4, and looking at Acts 20 verse 4, what is related to the first verse, the elder unto the well-beloved Gaius, whom I love in the truth. And Acts 20 verse 4, whatever's linked to it, it shows here actually the well-beloved, and there accompanied him, meaning Paul, into Asia, Sopater of Berea, and of the Thessalonians Aristarchus and Secundus, and Gaius of Derbe, and Timotheus, and of Asia Tychicus and Trophimus. So what is in common is the name Gaius and simply the name Gaius actually. But there might be more. In that case, I will look into the interlinear. And I'm curious, for example, since it mentioned well-beloved, what does well-beloved mean in Greek? Agapetos. And I will look into agapetos, which means beloved, esteemed, dear, favorite, worthy of love. And I will even check out where it's coming from. What's the root word? Okay, I'm gonna let it load while I look at, are there any verses in common, and what is related to 3rd John, which is the 20th epistle, with the 20th chapter of Acts. Actually, 20th chapter of Acts didn't mention this word, but you'll find it in the 20th book of the second cycle, which is Luke. I mean, there are other places, but this is like a word to start with. This is one thing that is in common. And when I bring these texts, for example, Luke 3:22, which I haven't done yet, but it could be that there's more that is in common. You'll probably find a phrase that is formed out of a few words, and so on. Now you see there's Luke 3:22, Luke 9:35, and Luke 20:13. And the second page I go. This is what we were looking for. And you also find a few times, actually, look at this. This thing I didn't even realize. We were looking for 3 John 1 verse 1, and then we also find the same word in 3 John verse 2, and then verse 5, and then verse 11. And that's it for that. Whereas in there's also in Jude, but my focus is on Jude 120. Maybe it might be that even the verses have some inspiration and connection to uh, the 20th letter, the 20th epistle of the Bible, for example, the 3 John. I mean, it does mention elsewhere, but that's one thing uh, in common between the two. And there might be other things which I haven't looked at it yet. And let's look at what I clicked. The root word, which is agapao. And here are a few other verses. And of course, in Luke, there's a lot that's written. And so on. I mean, that's one way I search. And how about looking at the next verse? Okay.